Hello everyone, Corpse here bringing you another video tutorial. Today's video tutorial, we're going to go over how to configure the Donations Xtreme module. Okay guys, we're going to pick up where we left off with the other video tutorial, where we're going to basically install it and configure it correctly. I mean, we've already installed it, but now we have to configure it and do the IPN stuff. I'm going to show the IPN more towards the end of this video, so I am going to bypass it. I will mark it off for you guys. So I'll mark off what you want to see. So let's get started. Let's hop right into this. What we want to do is go into our administration. And now you'll see this icon right here for Donations Xtreme. We click on that, and you're going to start off with going to the configuration. Inside the configuration, you're going to want to enter in your PayPal email. Use curl function. We can leave all that off. Preferred currency. IPN handler. These are going to be pretty much all filled in for you with what they should be. Here's what you're going to want to do for the meter system. This is this right here, if I remember correctly. Border color, I'm going to select white. Since I'm working on with a dark theme, I'm going to set this to let's do a light gray or a lightish gray. So let's do like straight lines. And the background we're going to do as a gray. Let's do like a semi-dark gray. Let's do 25s. Text color. This is where we're going to want to do white. And we're going to save configuration. Now that we have that configured, we're going to want to set up an event. You want to set up an event before you set up a block. So you go over into here, click on events, and you'll see there's already one right here, site donations. And this is fine if you want to have something that's just ongoing, never ending. It's always going to show, like me, I have mine set so you can see it ends June 1st, and this meter is going to be reset to 0. So with that, if you want to have that style, then you don't want to use this. Me, I don't use it, so I just come in here, I switch status to inactive, and just leave that be. So I come back to events, it's not active, and I'm going to add a new event. I'm going to call this one HSX-Dono. Event description. What do I have for mine?
A few moments later.
Okay, so I have this. This is the combined total that we need for each month type thing. So, oops, I'll just put in, this is what we need to keep our site going. Very simple. Time-based, I'll set that to yes. When it comes to end date, I recommend using any of the first days. Don't try doing the end of the month because, well, not every month ends on the same thing. So like the 28th is the furthest you would go. So do 1 through 28. Me, I prefer doing it the first. So today, this is month 5, so I'm going to set this to 01. So this is going to be on 5/1, which currently it is in the month, so I'm going to do 6. So I'm setting that to next month on the 1st, on 19th, reoccurring. This we're going to get into a bit more later on, but this is only, as you can see, only used if time-based events. Since I am setting up a time-based event, then we're going to need to do some coding later on. So I'm going to set this to yes, I want this reoccurring, and I want this to recur every month. You can set it to, okay, we need this every 3 months. Me, I'm just doing it every month. Target, let's set that to $50. And then we save event. So now that we have this here, we can go to manage blocks. I have no current blocks, and I'm going to add a new block. Block name, HSX donations. We're going to set that to HSX dono since that's the event that we have live right now. Show link to an event donations. Yes. And I'm just going to actually go through this, how I have mine set up on my website. So yes, yes, yes. And the next 3 are no's. And everything else is yes. But position of donators, that's at the meter, that's going to be the top. I do 5, and of course I like to show that, but you don't have to. And of course set this up to what you want. This is just the settings that I have right here on the right hand side, or left hand side on my site. So let's get back to that, and we click save block. Now remember how inside the admin panel I had you disable that block? Before we re-enable it, since the block does not exist, we just leave it donations, and we come up and here it is, donations, HSX donations. That's the name of the block. We're going to set that to active, save block, and there we go. There's our donation system. And now you have that installed. But it's not ready. Remember how I told you needed basically a business account for PayPal? Well, that comes because you need the IPN. So now let's go to the PayPal. First, actually, let's go back into our admin panel. Come down to the donations and go into configuration. You will have right here something called the IPN handler URL. Copy the link that's provided there. And then what you're going to want to do is go into your PayPal IPN. I am not showing you how to get there just because, well, it's pretty much impossible to tell you because they keep changing how to get there. It seems like every year it's a new way to get to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually post the link I've been using for the last 6 years, 7 years. I have this bookmarked, and I just click on this and it brings me to where I have to log in. I log in, it brings me right to the page where I need to. So I will provide you with this URL versus trying to show you how to go through PayPal to get to this location. But this is basically setting up your IPN, or instant payment notification. What you want to do is there'll probably be like an add IPN or edit settings, I don't know. But basically what you want to do is just come in and get to the point where you can edit it. And remember that URL I told you to paste? You paste it right there. So you paste it into the notification URL. And then you want to make sure IPN messages is set to receive IPN messages enabled. You want that enabled. And then you click save. Once you save, you'll see message delivery is enabled. You'll see the URL that you inputted. And you're done. That is all you need to do on that aspect. But we're not done with the module. I'm sorry it sounds like I'm jumping around, but this is actually the order I've been telling people to do it, um, because you're all doing this relatively at the same time. So now that we have the IPN set up and that, the final thing we need to do is come back to this folder and come into the mods. There's a thing called Event Checker Mod. Open up this and open up the text file. It'll tell you that you need to open up the main file.php, which I already have opened right there. Let's go back to well, actually I have this open up twice, so okay, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to find this, which is right there. And after, we just want to add in this little snippet of code. So on adding 2 new lines there, hit Control V, and there we go. So basically what this is doing is this is just updating the donations. It checks to see if the last donation's been run each month. So once it hits the last, if it's time, it runs. That's basically it. It's nothing too fancy. But once you do that, you hit Control S, save, and then you would upload right back to your site, and you're good to go. Now, you thought there was actually something else to do. No, you're actually 100% done. Now you can test this by going and make a donations, but since you already own that PayPal, what you would want to use is probably like another email. Huh, that event doesn't exist. I wonder why. I have a really good understanding of possibly why. Let me go back into main administration down here. Let me go up to events. Remember that event that we put in? I forgot to mention, it starts off disabled. So we just have to switch this, save event, and there we go. But that's it. And you saw me mess up a little bit, but with that forgetting to re-enable it. But yeah, that's a weird quirk with this system. Maybe someday I'll upgrade this system or fix it a little bit. But I didn't really want to touch it because it's not my system. But yeah. Now you have the chance to test if your donation system works by selecting the amount you want. Me, I like to do a custom value. I'll do like 0.02. It's a running joke of mine when I test things on people's websites. I give them my 2 cents. Yeah, I know, it's corny. But then you click on make a donations, and it will ask you to log in, blah blah blah. And I tell people pay with a debit card if you don't have a secondary PayPal account. Pay with a credit card or debit card, and use a different email than the one that your PayPal is with. So, like me, I would use my private Gmail email to make a donation to myself, essentially, to test the system. I'll use my Gmail account, and yeah, that's how I test. But otherwise, that's everything you need to know on how to set that up. But there is one last thing I did want to bring up, and I will end it. If you're looking inside the includes folder here, or the mods folder, you'll see one called Profile Mod. Well, this is okay in itself, but I do have a modified version here, as you can see. Users' donations, and it shows this information. Somehow those files got lost, so what I'll do is I'll rewrite the mod and put up the files sometime in the future if people request me to do it. The big difference between mine is it looks a little bit cleaner. I put it here instead of up here. They had theirs up here, if I remember correctly. It's been probably 5, 6, 7 years. I also put in the total donations, total after fees. I mean, there's definitely mods changes that I've done, location and just information. So if that's something that you guys want, I will put that together and I'll add it with this system, but I will also add it separate to my downloads. So yeah, till next time, you guys have a good one, and I definitely hope this helps you guys. If you guys like this video tutorial and you found it very helpful, feel free to stop by headshotdomain.net and donate a little bit. I mean, every little donation helps keep our site and community going, which in turn brings video tutorials like this to you guys, along with bringing new scripts and custom scripts. Also, feel free to stop by and say hi, or if you have any questions, feel free to stop in our forums and ask those questions. You can also ask over on nukeevolutionxtreme.com or .co.uk, or you could also ask over at lonestar-modules.com. So, till next time, you guys have a good one.